everybody. We are back again for some more NFL football. We are creeping on down to week 10 now.
We're down to the slope, the final slope.
The final slope to see who is and who isn't. And
That's pretty much self-explanatory.
yeah, and honestly, we got a lot of surprises, don't we? There's a lot of things I didn't think would happen this year has happened, and a lot of teams I didn't think would be that good. It's actually pretty good this year. But we will really find out now because we're down to just 7. We're just past the halfway point. So yeah, first of all, we do have to recap week 9. We got to go over week 9 first, and then once that, we'll throw a little dumpster fire in there. There's always a dumpster fire burning somewhere in the NFL, and then we'll go over the scores for week 10. But first of all, let's jump into week 9. Thursday night football, we had the Eagles at the Texans.
It was close for a couple of quarters, but the Eagles' talent card pulled away.
Eagles are 8-0 for the first time ever.
How do you do?
Eagles have never. Eagles in the history of their franchise has never been 8-0. How about that one?
How do you do?
Hallelujah! I'm glad.
Fly, Eagles, fly!
I'm glad we picked them to be good this year. Yeah, but they took care of the Texans pretty good, 29-17. Jumping on into Sunday. We had the Panthers at the Bengals. That one went pretty much like we thought, too.
That was worse than I thought.
Yeah.
They kind of laid down and died there.
Well, the Bengals had lost the week before. They're at home. Bengals at home, coming off of a loss. They
against a Panther team,
reeling with most of their players leaving and stuff like that. So, yeah, it was pretty bad. We had the Chargers at the Falcons. Man, the Chargers search for ways to lose games,
and they found a way to win this.
But the Falcons wouldn't let them win. I mean, wouldn't let them throw it away.
I mean, did you see that weird double fumble play that was in the game?
Yeah, I'm gonna fumble it to you, and then I'm gonna fumble it back to you.
The Chargers
that should
have to the Falcon.
That should have went to overtime.
And then the Falcon player fumbled
it right back to him. Yeah, so the Falcons found a way to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory.
Doesn't that whole sentence describe their whole franchise?
Now, there's another team this year that's even worse than them, but we'll talk about them here in just a second. We had the Packers at the Lions.
Oh, my gosh.
Normally, the Packers own the Lions.
Well, the Lions pulled a reverse Uno card.
They were and the Packers got 9 points. That's right. In 4 quarters, they got 3 field goals. What the crap? Was Devontae Adams that much of the offense? Apparently so.
I mean, old man Rodgers threw 3 red zone interceptions.
And one of them was bad. I mean, bad. Looking really bad. Old man Rodgers needs to get some cataract surgery or something because he can't see where he's throwing the ball. Looking bad, but
the
Lions 15-9.
Second win of the season.
See what? I'm a little bit of a creature of habit. I'm used to the Packers just destroying people in the regular season, not the postseason. But the regular season, the Packers are normally turning people up, and this year
it's just different.
The Lions beat them, dude.
They just feel different overall as a team
when you watch them. They did. Honestly, the Packers are one of the worst teams in the NFL.
In terms of offensive production?
Well, record-wise, they're 3-6. They're one of the worst teams in the NFL.
They lost to a defense that was 32nd in the NFL in giving up points.
They scored 9 points against
the
32nd ranked defense. That's bad. We had the Colts at the Patriots.
Speaking of awful.
Spanking, 26-3.
This loss was so bad that they fired the head coach.
Yes. Frank Reich is Jeff Saturday is
Come on in.
Come on, Jeff. Now he's just an interim coach for the rest of the year. If he tears it up and finishes out the season which ain't gonna happen because their team sucks, then they might keep Saturday. But I think Saturday is more of a just come take care of us, man. You know, Jeff Saturday was Peyton's center for the years that he was there. And him and Peyton are big buddies. So putting in Jeff Saturday
he's a former Colt.
All the fans are going, oh, okay. Even if we lose, we still love Jeff Saturday. So the ownership actually pulled a pretty smooth one there on you. We hate you. Oh, it's okay now. We're still losing, but it's okay. They pull the Uno Reversi card there.
Oh.
The owners pull the Uno Reversi card on the Colts fans. Your team sucks, but it's Jeff Saturday. You gotta love him.
And you only got 124 yards of offense total in that game in Foxborough.
Ooh. All right, we had the Bills at the Jets for the surprise of the week.
And one of the surprise teams of the season so
Yeah.
far.
The Jets are
6-3.
6-3.
Heading into their bye week.
And now Buffalo's 6-2 with a tough game this week. Buffalo's got a tough game this week, which we'll talk about in a minute. But how about them Jets?
Jets.
I mean,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wins.
6 wins. Man.
They're already
bowl eligible. Wait a minute, this ain't college football, is it?
You don't go to bowl
They
games.
don't get a
in
bowl
the
game in the
NFL.
NFL. Okay, sorry. But yeah, I mean, they are really. That tells you what a new coach and a couple extra pieces in the puzzle does for you.
Yep, and the
They look
defense
pretty good.
is what's helping them. They have the 7th ranked defense in the NFL in giving up points.
And their new quarterback, which honestly I had a few questions about.
Zach Wilson's playing good enough.
He got injured, and then
He's playing good enough to win games.
He's playing good enough to win games right now. He's not losing games for people. So yay for the Jets. We had the Vikings at the Commanders. Vikings 20-17. The Vikings almost found a way to lose that one too.
Pulled it away at the very end of the game. They were struggling with the Commanders.
Somebody asked me today if the Vikings were fool's gold because they beat the Packers, which suck. They lost to the Eagles.
That's a good loss.
They beat the Vikings at home, which the Lions. They beat the Lions at home. So they went to the Saints and beat the Saints with out their starting quarterback. They beat the Bears before Justin Fields decided to be good. They beat the Dolphins without their starting quarterback. They beat the Cardinals the week after the new video game came out. So Aaron, he was playing the video game and not worrying about the football game. And then they barely beat the Commanders. They really haven't had any huge wins yet, So, but right now the Vikings are 7-1, and they're looking pretty good. From the eye test, I would pick them as one of the top 5 teams in the NFC.
But in the detail test,
But in the details, is that really good or is it really not good? We will find out this week because they really do have a good game coming up. It's actually them and the Bills coming up, but that will really tell you which one of those two teams are pretenders and which one. That might be a preview of the Super Bowl if both of the teams are good. Really. Let's see here. We had the Raiders at the Jaguars, and the Raiders. How can you lose every game that you're ahead by 17 points?
Get
up by 17 points.
Game.
Hand it away.
Every single game with them.
Let's see what was it? It was 17-10 at halftime, and they scored. It was 20-10 at halftime. So it was 20-3. They were up 17. And they scored 0 points in the second half. None in the third, none in the fourth. 20 points at halftime, 0 the second half. They just might as well go home at halftime, dude, because every second half of the game, they lose every second half of every game.
Josh McDaniels is a snake oil salesman. You know what those guys are?
Yeah,
they sell you a bill of goods.
That it really is not that good.
That's what he is, and he's reverted back to...
Like I said, he was the head coach of the Broncos, and they sucked. Bill Belichick took him in, tried to rehabilitate him. I don't think it worked because he still sucks as a head coach.
Yes,
because there's a lot of talent on that team, dude.
That's on the coach. That's got to be on the coach.
Yeah. We had the Seahawks at the Cardinals, and we called this upset. They beat them by 10. I think the line was like 1 or 2 for the Cardinals, but we knew the Seahawks. Geno, man.
He's playing good. He's playing good.
He's my feel-good story of the year. He really shouldn't be this good. He really shouldn't. But he is this year. He's really good.
Good football.
Yeah, he's playing good football. So, hallelujah to Seattle. We had the Rams at the Bucks. It's about time he took off the Clark Kent uniform
and played Superman
for a game. This was This was the last two Super Bowls winners, and the final score was 16-13, and it took a heroic last minute drive to win that game to get the 16 points. But honestly, it was good to see Tom pull one out. He was really happy about it. It's good to see it. He's went through some tough times. I mean, in reality, he's went through some tough times lately, personally and at work. So it was good to see him pull one out. And
despite the Rams having all those weapons, the only person who can get open is Cooper Kupp.
Cooper Kupp is a machine. But
he's the only receiver that had 100 yards.
That's it. That's all they've got.
The Rams' offense was really ugly.
Mm-hmm.
But the Buccaneers' offense was ugly, but really ugly were the Rams.
Yeah, the Rams were 3 points more ugly. We had the Titans at the Chiefs.
Very competitive game.
A very competitive game. The Titans didn't have their starting quarterback.
Malik Willis, and that last overtime drive.
I'm not a Tannehill fan, but I think the Titans would have beat the Chiefs if Tannehill would have been in there because he wouldn't have. Malik might turn out to be a really good quarterback, but he's a rookie. And he stands back there and he holds the ball and dances a little bit and holds the ball and runs in circles.
That overtime possession really just showed
he's a rookie.
And in a very painful way.
Very painful way. He got sacked. It was like 3rd and 81, I think, by the time he took those last 2 sacks.
That was as ugly an overtime possession, even with a rookie quarterback, as I've seen.
But the Titans' defense are for real to only give up 17 points to the Chiefs at home.
In regulation.
But the Chiefs pulled her out 20-17. And then Monday Night Football, we had the Ravens at the Saints. The Ravens beat them pretty easy. I think we called that one too.
The flock is flying high in Baltimore, nevermore.
Lamar Jackson's going to try his like I said, they've lost 3 games this year, and I think it's about a total of 5.5 points or something. I mean, they've lost on the last minute drive. So I don't think they've trailed more than 5 minutes the entire year, but they've lost 3 games. But Lamar Jackson wants to prove himself because he turned down that $200 million contract because he thinks he deserves $250 or $260, whatever it is. So he's trying to prove himself. So, but anyways, that is our recap of Week 9. Now we got the little dumpster fire for you.
It's pretty smoldering.
This is Marty Dumpster Fire. Check out the dumpster fire.
Dumpster fire of the week.
Yeah. And the dumpster fire is burning.
The Los Angeles Rams.
Didn't they win the Super Bowl last year?
Yep.
Didn't they have a pretty prolific offense last year?
Yes.
They scored a lot of points, didn't they? Why did they only score 13 points against the Bucks, who had lost like 5 games in a row? They had 7 points in the second quarter, 6 points in the third quarter. And that's it.
I'm just laughing because that's just so bad.
They got one player. Check it out. Cooper Kupp. Doesn't this sound like a Super Bowl winning line? 8 receptions, 127 yards, and 1 TD. That was Cooper Kupp.
And he was as good as usual.
You want to know how many passing yards were thrown outside of Cooper Kupp? 38. That was it. If you take Cooper Kupp out, there was 38 yards passing outside of him. I don't know. There was 5 completions for 38 yards outside of Cooper Kupp.
Dear Lord, have mercy.
How do you go from winning the Super Bowl to only throwing 5 passes for 38 yards outside of your best players? That's it.
I think they didn't even run for that many yards either.
Their best player, Henderson. Henderson's he has 12 carries for 56 yards. That was their best rusher. Hallelujah. Ain't that just special? I don't know. They're all, like I said, is it Sean McVay supposed to be a
offensive guru?
Why? See what happened.
I'll tell you what happened. I'll tell you
what happened.
Campbell's Chunky Soup.
Sean McVay did a Chunky Soup commercial. It's the Chunky Soup curse. That's all it is, man. Meaty goodness got him. It got him. The chunky potatoes and the carrots and it got him. It's the Chunky Soup curse. But they can't lose another one. They're 3-5.
And if their offense plays as garbage as that, I don't know
if they win out, they're only 12-5. If they what is it? They got 9 more games, right? If they go 7-2, they're 10-7, and that might not get you in. So If they need to go 7-2 or better in their last 9, or they don't go to the Super Bowl, or they don't go to the playoffs. I mean, no Packers in the playoffs, no Rams in the playoffs. The Packers ain't going. They're doomed, dude. They would have to win every single game the rest of the year, and they can't even get a touchdown right now. So, but the Rams, they can't lose another one. If they lose next week, it's nice knowing you. Might as well just pack her up and just call it for next week.
What do you mean packer? They can't even pack it.
Packers can't even pack it up. Strewn out all over the place. So anyways, that is our dumpster fire week. Let's go ahead and jump into the week 10. Man, it is week 10. All right, Thursday night game. We got a barn burner. We got the Falcons at your Panthers.
That
on
should
prime time.
be a Atlanta win.
You would think so. Atlanta's favored by 2.5, and right now, honestly, it would be better if your Packers lost, so they'd have a better draft pick.
Would it be better if the Panthers lost, you mean?
Panthers. I've got the Packers in my mind because they're going to lose this week too, probably. But yeah, the Panthers. So I mean, you'd probably take Atlanta minus 2.5 just because it'd be better if the Panthers did lose. Sunday we got the Seahawks at the Buccaneers
in Germany.
In Germany at 9:30 a.m. Sunday morning. That'll be interesting. It's hard to call those games because with all the travel and the jet lag, you don't know how it's going to affect the teams. Tampa Bay is actually favored by 3. I'm still feeling the Seahawks though, aren't you? Yep. I mean, the Bucks pulled one out against the mighty Rams, but the Rams suck this year. So, and the Seahawks are pretty good. So, I'll probably take the Seahawks plus 3 points. So, we'll go with that one. This might be the game of the week. The Vikings, like we were talking about, at the Bills. That's going to be a Super Bowl preview. If the Vikings are good, they'll show it this game.
If the Vikings are overhyped,
I'm going Buffalo.
You're going Buffalo?
I'm going Buffalo.
But Josh Allen's elbow is an issue.
That is an issue. If Josh Allen doesn't play, then who's their backup? Oh, I knew it today. I had to. But anyways, if their backup plays, I'll probably go Vikings. So you might want to wait till Saturday before you make a big decision on that one. Right now, the line's 2.5. I would take Buffalo minus 2.5 if Josh Allen's the quarterback. If Josh Allen's not the quarterback, Cade McNown. Cade McNown's the backup quarterback there, ain't he?
Cade McNown.
Yeah.
The savior of Buffalo.
I think he's there, yeah. Then I'm going to take Minnesota plus 2.5. But the Bills really can't afford to lose too many more right now either. But Josh Allen did hyperextend his elbow, and it's really, really sore. So we got the Lions at the Bears. Oh, my.
Oh, my, oh, my. This is Justin Fields' day to shine.
Mm-hmm. Chicago's favored by 3. Justin Fields has finally figured out my offensive line's not really good. My receivers aren't really good, so I'm going to run. And he's running and running and running, and then that's making people get open.
Yep.
So they have figured out that they need to have a run-first offense, not the running back, the quarterback. Run the quarterback and let the offense open up around him running for his life.
Usually he does not like that.
No, I am not a running quarterback fan because they get injured too much, and then you lose your franchise because you took a first-round pick to get him. I like to having a good pocket, but I'm sort of seeing what they're doing right now because the team around him is not good. So he's like, I'm going to run for my life, and I'll pass it when I have to. And it's working. He has actually had, jump back to fantasy, he has had the last 3 weeks, he has been the QB1 because of all of the scrambling and touchdowns he has got from that. So, hooray to Justin Fields. Hey, he figured out a way for the Bears not to kill him. I thought the Bears were going to kill him. So, I probably will take the Bears minus 3 just because he's been on a little bit of a fire lately. And the Lions do give up some points. Unless you're the Packers. We got the Broncos at the Titans. Titans are favored by 2. I'll take the Titans on that one.
Nathaniel Hackett's a bad head coach.
Yeah. Now, Tennessee's offense coordinator
is terrible.
Todd Downing, he's terrible also. He'll pull plays, you'll be going, what? Why did he? But there's no way that would have. but he will call it. He's in the diamond of horrible coaches. The Titans offensive coordinator is one of those 4. But Derrick Henry, that's all I'm gonna say.
You can bail out any bad coordinator.
Yeah, he will. And the Titans aren't going to lose 2 in a row. Titans come off of a loss on the road, coming home to a bad team. Titans are only favored by 2, so that should be a really safe bet. Got the Jaguars at the Chiefs.
This should be Kansas City all day.
This should be Kansas City's favored by 9.5. I'm probably feeling it. They probably will take that by more than 10. Got the Browns at the Dolphins. This is actually a good game. Last year, a couple years ago, 3 years ago, you want to say, well, that's a horrible game. But, those are really 2 good teams now.
Well, let me tell you one thing that will really determine this game. Dolphins receivers versus Joe Woods' psyche.
Joe Woods is horrible at covering wide receivers. He's one of the other 4. Joe Woods is the defensive coordinator for the Browns.
He's been that way for the last 3 years.
And they're horrible. If you want to know why the Browns have demised over the last 3 years, it isn't because of the offense. It isn't because of Baker Mayfield. It's their horrible defense. Their defense does not support their offense. They run around like a bunch of chicken with their head cut off, covering the wide receivers.
That doesn't mesh well with a run-first offense.
No.
Usually you want to match it with a solid defense,
You have to have a solid defense.
Not an awful one.
That's why the run-first Baker Mayfield short pass game didn't work. Because the defense didn't support them.
Gave up big plays over and over and over.
Didn't support them. But the Browns have a great running game, but I'm going to go Dolphins. Dolphins are minus 3.5. I think the Dolphins win it by probably 6-ish or more. Texans at the Giants.
Giants.
Texans are 1-6-1. They'll be 1-7-1 after this. Line's 5. I'm probably safe with that. We have the Saints at the Steelers.
Battle of the downward spiral teams.
Both of these teams have lost superb quarterbacks. Saints 2 years ago, Steelers last year. So it's the battle of who gets the good quarterback next. Because neither one of them's got a good one now. Well, no, Kenny Pickett for the Steelers, he might be good. He shows flashes of being good, but he is still a rookie.
And he's surrounded by a bad core.
Mm-hmm. They did pull up a very good wide receiver from the practice squad this week and signed him back again, Josh Malone. So he will be back out there this week. Josh Malone is a Tennessee volunteer, by the way. So, but anyways, I'm honestly probably going to take the Saints. And again, you want to know why I picked the Titans? Because of Derrick Henry. You know why I picked the Saints? Alvin Kamara. He'll get you 14, 17 points if you just turn him loose and don't try to put everything on Taysom Hill and everybody else. Alvin Kamara is your best player. Use your best player.
They did not use him against the Ravens, and that's why they lost.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We got the Colts at the Raiders.
Talk about a disaster-filled Sunday.
3-5-1 versus 2-6.
I would pick Jeff Saturday over Josh McDaniels at this point.
The Raiders will win at halftime. It'll be 20-10 maybe again at halftime. And then the Colts will win 27-23 because the Raiders will get 3 points in the second half. Vegas is actually favored by 6. Honestly, I might take the Colts. I don't know. I might take the Colts. They might rally around Jeff Saturday a little bit because everybody does love him. We got the Cowboys at the Packers. Normally you'd be like, what a barn burner. The Packers suck, though. And the Cowboys Dan Quinn's defense, if the Packers can only score 9 points against the Bucks,
just imagine the terror.
The terror that Dan Quinn's going to throw at him.
Oh, God.
Dan Quinn is, I think, one of the best 2 defensive coordinators in the game. He's one of the diamond good people.
Yes.
He's one of the really good ones. So
he constructed the Legion of Boom in Seattle, if you don't know.
Yeah. He's a defensive coordinator for Dallas now. But the trouble is, Dallas's offensive coordinator is in that diamond of bad ones. He is horrible.
It's a personal one for you.
Oh, it's so bad. And it's just like a have you ever tried to throw something away before that was just horrible, and you turn around and look and you thought, man, it's still there. Didn't I throw that away? It's just in the way. It's horrible. And then a month later, I thought I threw that away. That's Kellen Moore. Just throw him away, please. Get us he's bad. He's a bad offensive coordinator. He's bad. No matter what, he's bad. Oh, okay. We got the Cardinals at the Rams. One of these teams is out of the playoffs, like we mentioned. Honestly, I think the Cardinals are already out of the playoffs. But if the Rams don't win this, they're out of the playoffs too. Rams are favored by 1.5. Do you think that the new War video game's been out long enough for him to get over playing it, so he can get back to football now? Okay, I don't know. Honestly, I'd probably pick the Rams. The Rams do have more talent. They're only favored by 1.5. They're at home, so I think that'll be good. And then our other Sunday night game, we got 2 Sunday night. We actually got, we got 2. No, I'm pretty sure that the Jacksonville game got flexed. Somebody got flexed to Sunday night, and I don't remember who it was.
Kansas City and the Los Angeles Chargers in a few weeks.
That got flexed. Okay, we got speaking of Chargers, we got the Chargers at the 49ers. That's who we got this Sunday night.
That means 49ers victory.
Yep.
They're coming up the Christian McCaffrey chainsaw.
He's going to come in there. He has a Swiss Army knife. He can run, he can throw, he can pass, he can catch, he can, I don't know.
Do anything.
He'll probably be out there reffing the game at some point, throwing a flag. 49ers favored by 7.
Would you take Kyle Shanahan or Brandon Stale piece of toast?
I don't know. I don't like any one of those right now. The Chargers are loaded with talent. They're like the Raiders. Both of those are in the same division, and both of them are just loaded with talent, and you're just going like, okay, I'm ready for you to start winning now. If the Chargers lose this, then they'll be in trouble. They'll be at 5-4, but the 49ers will probably beat them. I'll probably take the 49ers, yeah. And Monday Night Football, we got the Commanders at the 8-0 Eagles. And
Eagles.
For the first time in ever, the Eagles will go 9-0 because they're going to beat the doors off the Washington. This biggest line of the week, I think it's 11, and honestly, I'll probably take the Eagles minus 11 on this one. So that is it. That is our NFL football for weeks 9 and 10. We hope you had a little fun with us. Be sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Tell us your picks for the week, who your favorite for the Super Bowl is.
Hit the groovy
Hit the groovy button over there, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week.